Hello everyone and welcome to Three Times the Gamer. I've been playing Splatoon 2 now on and off since its release, so I just thought I'd come on here and show you a bit of gameplay footage and tell you my thoughts on it. First off, I have to say I've been very much enjoying it, actually a lot more than I thought I would be. Primarily, I originally bought it just because, generally speaking, I played single-player games mostly. So I thought, oh well, it's got a single-player mode on it, and it's also got the sort of horde mode, as it were, on it. So I'd hoped that I'd enjoy it enough just from that, and then dip in here and there on the multiplayer mode. I have to say though that the multiplayer mode is very fun and very addictive. I'm so definitely glad I bought Splatoon 2. It's so much better than I expected. Now, I played the demo when Nintendo had it on, and I enjoyed that. But now I've got into it more. Actually, building my character up with the different clothes and getting weapons and all that kind of stuff. I have to say, yeah, I definitely really enjoy it. It's a really fun game. Competitive shooter, really, but at the same time, it's just having some fun, and I like that. I play Overwatch, not a great deal, but gradually over time, it's gone from that really fun element of Overwatch to everyone's in it to win it, and I just like to play. If I'm playing multiplayer, yeah, of course I like to win. Everyone likes to win, but it's not about the winning. It's just about having fun. And so far, Splatoon 2 is allowing me to do that. Going on there and not concentrating on just killing everyone. You're doing something a bit different, painting the ground and fighting for your turf. So it's just a nice fresh take, even though it's a sequel, obviously. It's still, to me, because I never played the first one, a nice fresh take on the shooting genre. Now, also, I got to play on the first official Splatfest, which was the ketchup versus mayo. I went with ketchup, which was the most popular choice. Mayonnaise still won. How does that happen? But yeah, that was very fun, I must say, actually, and you get any rewards after that as well. So you can upgrade your equipment. It's great, and I like the fact as well that you can get your little tickets that give you extra XP bonuses and kind of things like that. So yeah, the multiplayer aspect is great. The single player is definitely fun, but I would say not as good as I was hoping it was going to be actually. But gradually, as I've been progressing, it has been getting better. First couple of levels were really dead easy and a bit boring. But as I've been going on, the levels have been expanding out in the difficulty and things you're doing them. As well as getting different weapons to use. So as I've been going along, I definitely find it more exciting. The boss fights are good. I've only done a couple at this point, but they're both totally unique to each other. It follows the Nintendo formula of free hits to win kind of thing. But the first boss was almost, well, I wouldn't say puzzly, but you had to work your way up it. It wasn't just a simple matter of shooting it. You had to actually figure out your way up it and how to avoid its attacks, which I like. I like that there's a little bit of, I wouldn't exactly say strategy, but you have to think a little bit about what you're doing. It's not about just shooting him. So I like that. I like that aspect of the single player. So it is very fun, the single player. Just not quite as good as I was hoping to be, considering how fun the multiplayer aspect is. And then, of course, after that, you've also got the Salmon Run mode, which is essentially this game's horde mode with a little bit of a twist. It's not about just sitting there and killing the enemies. It's about trying to take out the bosses and capture eggs to then take back to the, I can't think what it's called, but basically the eggs holding pen. Most of the bosses give you 3 eggs. You only carry 1 at once, but you've got 4 people in your team. So if you're all around, you can all take them back at once to store those eggs. However, enemies will try and take those eggs off you, and you need to catch a certain amount of eggs before that timer runs out for you to get a good score and earn bonuses, which you can then use in the multiplayer mode. My biggest complaint really with the Salmon Run mode is that you are tied down to a schedule. This does seem to be every other day that you can play it. So some days it's closed and And to me, that's a little bit frustrating. I can understand why, because it focuses people onto multiplayer mode separate from the summon run mode. So then when it opens, you get a more concentrated burst of players on it. So I can understand that. However, if you're very restricted in terms of when you can play your games, especially say you only can play once a week or whatever because of work, potentially might never get to play that mode because you're tied down to schedule, which I think's wrong. Really, you should be able to play it when you want. I understand events because they're specifically tied to a larger community, and yes, the salmon run mode is a multiplayer mode, but I do think it should be open every day. Just because people can't always play when you're dictated to. People got work. It's yes, this is a game for younger people, but it's also a game for adults as well. Everyone likes to play all sorts of games, so I think Nintendo should change that. Hopefully, they will. If enough people don't like the fact that you can't play when you want, so we shall see. There's a wide range of weapons in the game as well that you have to earn by leveling up and then purchasing. So each match you actually complete, you do get gold coins that you can spend on clothes, such as your shirts, shoes, headgear, and also weapons. And the weapons are unlocked by gaining levels. So you start off only able to buy 1 or 2 weapons, and as you progress, those weapons open up with the ranks, and they range from more your machine guns type weapons to your snipers to big rollers of paint that you can paint very wide areas of the ground, which are also very strong when you hit an enemy with them. Then you've got even more unorthodox weapons though, such as a bucket of paint, which you can throw over enemies to obviously damage them, or of course allows you to paint quite large areas of ground rather quickly. The game does seem to be getting quite a lot of updates in terms of weapons as well, which is great. The game has received a paintbrush since launch. I think there's a new weapon about to be released as well. And they've also just released the Splatoon, which is a very fast and strong weapon, but has very short range, for example. So I like that the Nintendo are doing updates to it, even if just weapons to keep it fresh. However, I will say as well, actually, that during this Splatfest, Nintendo did release an extra stage for you to fight on, which I thought was really good, that they're going to be putting in extra stages during the Splatfest to keep things a bit more fresh so that you don't get bored of the game. So I like that. I like that they're actually supporting the game post-launch. So hopefully they continue that. I think that's great. Good on you for that, Nintendo, as well as the fact it's free, it's not paid for DLC. So double thumbs up for Nintendo on that. Keep it up. Your gear also has slots that you can unlock extra abilities on, such as your weapons taking less ink to fire, be able to move through ink faster, and all that, and those kind of things. Respawn times, for example, will be reduced. Now, different headgears and shirts have different amounts of slots and different abilities inside them. The more expensive the item tends to be, the more slots. However, you can actually unlock extra slots on your equipment by purchasing them using rare sea snails in the game. I don't know if there's any other way to get them, but I know you could definitely get some from Splatfests, because I did once it was over. I received, I think it was 7 of them, so I can then use those to unlock extra slots in my gear or to re-roll my gear. So if I don't like what I've actually got in it, then I can try again, see if I can get something better. Another couple of little touches to the game that I like is the fact that people can post their own drawn images. There's been a couple of funny ones I've seen on there. As you can see, someone there with Mr. Burns with his catsup rather than ketchup, which I thought was quite funny during the Splatfest of mayo versus ketchup. So yeah, I like that little feature. It just adds a little bit more life to the game. And on top of that, there's also a little mini game you can play, which is a rhythm game, much in the likes of Guitar Hero and all that kind of thing. I'm really out of practice at it, so I wasn't very good at it. But basically, yeah, you're just in rhythm, pressing your buttons to the soundtracks of the game. Nothing major, but it's nice to have that little extra touch on there. If you want a little bit of the break from what you've been doing in the game, just want to have a little bit of a chill between a match, but don't want to turn it off because you want to go back onto one in a minute, or you're waiting for friends to come on and play, it's good that you have that there just to kill a little bit of time and do something a bit different. Visually, the game, I absolutely love the visuals. Very bright and colourful. Definitely would look great if you're using the new limited edition Joy-Cons, because the green and pinks are very, very vibrant, and it would definitely go with those when you've got them on your Nintendo Switch. Are they groundbreaking graphics? No, of course not, but especially considering, of course, this is playable on a handheld console, it is very nice looking, and it doesn't need to be groundbreaking because it's about the style and the colours rather than the actual visual fidelity. You can play the game using your traditional analog sticks, or you have got the option for your motion controls. The game does start with motion controls on. I imagine if you get good with them, then they would be the better way to play. They're going to be fast and more accurate, but you have to get used to that. Right now, for me, definitely analogs beat it, but the Pro Controller, hands down for me, is the best way to play. I would imagine, though, everybody's going to have their own preference. And as I say, I would think if you get good with the motion controls, then I bet that would actually be the better way to play. But it's getting used to it, as I say. With me, I overshoot. I overshoot things, and I kind of forget I'm using the motion control, and react too late because of that. I have killed people with it. I've beat people with the motion controller. I don't know if I want to invest enough time getting into the motion controls when I'm doing okay and doing well enough at the moment, I think, with the analogs and the Pro Controller. I mean, for me, I would say it'd probably go Pro Controller is my favourite, potentially then motion control, and then the Joy-Cons analog sticks. But I'm still debating those. Still debating whether I prefer motion control to the Joy-Cons analogs. But yeah, Pro Controller, definitely my favourite way to play when it's on the TV. Yeah, but overall, I've been very, very much enjoying Splatoon 2. Totally glad I bought it. I would say anyone who has a Switch that likes shooters at all, certainly online, definitely pick it up. If you're only picking it up for the single player, solely for that, and never going to touch the online aspect, maybe I'd steer clear. But if you like to dabble a little in your online multiplayer, certainly pick it up. Would I buy a Nintendo Switch specifically for it? Probably not. It's very fun if you've got a Switch. Is it an actual system seller to me? I would say no. Zelda is, but if you've already got a Wii U, then again you might not want to pick it up unless you want to take it on the go. So great game, not a system seller. I think the true system seller is obviously going to come in the shape of Super Mario Odyssey. And with that, I'll leave you to get on with your day. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated. But until next time, see you later.